Whatever the fuck makes you happy, do that shit. And anyone who doesn't support you, who doesn't respect you, who's not in line with the intention that you're setting for this next year, they gotta get the fuck out. Exit stage left, get the fuck out of here. We don't have time for your negativity, for your bullshit, for your shenanigans in 2024. Because the only fucking person that I'm worried about in this next year is me. And then everyone else is gonna come second to that. But I'm putting myself first. I'm doing what the fuck makes me happy. I'm showing up for myself and I'm doing that shit. I can never say this fucking word. Unapologetically as fuck. Period. And may this next year be exactly how you intend it to be. You have the power to make your life the way that you want it to be. Speaking to myself too, there's shit about me that I definitely want to shift and change in 2024. And I'm being intentional as fuck about it. Yes, there's going to be down moments. Yes, there's going to be sad moments. Yes, I'm not going to be perfect and I'm going to fuck up from time to time. But remembering why and remembering the bigger picture of what I see for myself is what I'm standing on. I'm standing on motherfucking business in 2024. You need to do the same. Welcome back to Watch Us Thrive. Oh my God, this is season 3, y'all. Bow, 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 bow. I need like an air horn or some shit. I cannot believe we are in season 3 of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. So excited to be back. I'm so excited to be talking with y'all again. I really missed being behind the mic, having conversations. I have so many things that I want to talk about, but I'm just so thrilled, honestly, for real, to be back and to be in season 3. Like, this is crazy. Tomorrow, actually, today is December 31st when I'm recording this episode, but tomorrow, January 1st, 2024, is going to be the 2-year anniversary of the birth of this podcast. I started it January 1st, 2022. Whew, if y'all listen back to those earlier episodes, it's a mess, but it's okay because the evolution and the growth, I mean, I love to see that. And I love that y'all are with me on this journey. So I'm just really, really excited to be back. I'm really excited to figure this out as I go. You know, with this next season, I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but I want to do more of these solo episodes. I want to get back to basics and how this podcast really started with me. You know, I love interviewing guests. I love highlighting stories of people turning their pain into power, but I really want to be super intentional with the content that I put out there this season. And I feel like some of the episodes are going to be just me talking to y'all. And I'm really, really excited for that. So welcome. I am back. I'm so fucking excited to be here. And I got some shit that I want to talk about for this solo episode, this premiere episode, this 2024 new year, same but better me. You know what I'm saying? And I really just want to share a lot of shit that's been going on since I took a break right before Thanksgiving. It's been about 7 or 8 weeks since I've recorded, since I've plugged up my mic, since I've done anything podcast related, but I needed a break. I really needed to just stop, to surrender, to feel all the feelings. I'm going to get into it as the episode progresses, but there was just a lot of things that I was dealing with, still am dealing with, and I just needed to like, whoop, pump the brakes, right? So yeah, let's jump into this episode. I have a lot of shit that I want to talk about. Part 1 of this conversation. I don't know if y'all remember, but I talked about it a few times in season 2 of the podcast that I saw the idea of having a gratitude jar. I think I saw it on Shady. He talked about it, having a gratitude jar. And for those of you who are listening who have no idea what that is, I'm going to break it down so you understand. So you get a couple Post-its, you know, the little squares that we write things on, and you get a jar, literally a jar. What you're supposed to do is throughout the year that you start your gratitude jar, anytime there's a win, a celebration, however big or small it is, it doesn't need to be on a grand scale, you have to write it down and you put it in this jar. You don't look at them for the entire year. And then on the last day of said year, so the last day of 2023, you look back and you reflect on the small wins, the medium wins, the big wins that you experienced throughout the year. Because I feel like, especially for me, I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but for me, the day to day, it's difficult to remember what you did, who you saw, experiences you went through, to be able to like reflect back and see everything that you did. I think it's super important for you to celebrate the shit that you've gone through. And I have not read any of these, but I really wanted to start off on a positive note, on a feel good note. There is going to be some heavy conversation that's going to happen throughout this episode. I was like, let's ease into it and let's start off with some good shit. So I'm going to read to y'all the things that I experienced on my gratitude jar. It should be more fuller. I don't know. There should be more in here, but I'm going to be super honest with y'all. I was not as intentional in remembering to add things to the jar. So it's pretty sporadic. I think I wrote the date and the day of what I was grateful for. So hopefully we'll be able to see, but let's dump this out and let's read it together. This is exciting. Y'all should do this too. I'm definitely going to do this again for 2024. I'm excited to see how was my year. And maybe this will set the intention for you to do the same in this next coming year. Ooh, we starting off good. On January 25th of 2023, I landed my first ever in-person speaking gig in New York. Oh my God, I remember that. Y'all, I was so fucking nervous, but it was such a small and intimate group. And shout out to Catherine. She's the one who put it together. Gem and Me podcast. She was actually a guest on the podcast for season 2. And it was just beautiful for me to be able to share my story of what I went through. A lot of you know, but if you're a new listener, you're just meeting me for the first time. I am a domestic violence survivor. It's going to be, holy shit, it's going to be 3 years in 2024 since I escaped that abusive relationship. And really my purpose was born from that situation. So I'm so grateful that she thought of me to come out and speak and just share a little bit of my truth and my story. So that was definitely something that I was grateful for. And I'm manifesting and I'm putting it out there, more live in-person speaking gigs for your girl Lianne in 2024 and beyond. Okay. All right, let's see what the next one is. May 30th, I hit over 10,000 downloads of the podcast. 10,011 to be exact on May 30th. Ooh, you see, there's no way that I would be able to remember that I hit 10,000 downloads on May 30th if I did not write it down. Shout out to y'all for supporting the show. May that be the first of many. December was definitely slower for the podcast because I did not put any new content out. I didn't re-release anything, but y'all are still listening. Y'all are still supporting the show, and that, oh, it makes me feel so fucking good. So thank you guys. Keep listening, keep sharing, and leave a rating and review on Apple. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying that. If you're a podcaster, you know, let us know that you like us. Okay, here we go. July 29th, Google AdSense started generating passive income and I made 33 cents of passive income, which is nothing really. But the fact that I was able to figure that shit out, it's so fucking not easy. There's so many things that I still don't know when it comes to creating passive income for my website, wutpodcast.com. Check it out. My podcast is there. My blog posts are there. Definitely want to be more intentional with my website in 2024. So go check that out. Your girl is trying to learn how to make passive income, okay? Because I love doing this shit, but you know, I want to make a little coin too. Oh man. Okay, next one. I remember this. This is an emotional one. January 15th, that day, I don't remember the day, but me and my daughter went to go see the ballet at a performing arts center close to my hometown. That's our tradition. She used to be a dancer. She used to do ballet. And every beginning of the year, we go see one. We're actually going to go see Cinderella. I'm so excited. On January 15th, I cried because I saw a 90-day comparison weight loss photo, and the change has been massive. I fit back into my favorite skinny jeans today. I'm so proud of myself. Oh man. So if you guys don't know, or if you don't remember, I had weight loss surgery November 2nd, 2022, when we went to the ballet that day. That was about 3 months since I had that surgery. And the fact that I was able to fit in my favorite skinny jeans again, when before they couldn't close. But we're going to talk more about the weight loss thing because, yeah, we got some shit to talk about, but let's keep going. January 1st, had a great workout with Bree. PR for leg press, 208 pounds, down 38 pounds since the surgery. Oh man. We gonna talk about it, y'all, because damn, I was doing so fucking good, but it's okay. February 1st, booked my first ever solo trip to Mexico. Y'all, for my 35th birthday this past September, we're recording in 2023, but this is gonna be released in 2024. I turned 35, and that's a major milestone. That's a major pivotal moment. And I wanted to do something really symbolic and really memorable. So I went on my first ever solo trip, and it was amazing. I cannot wait to do it again. I said I was going to record a podcast episode talking about it, but I just never got around to it. But it was so amazing. I went for 5 days and 4 nights, luxurious, adults only resort. My one drawback to that whole experience was I didn't really research the resort well enough. It was definitely an older demographic, and a lot of couples were there. So, not gonna lie, your girl was kind of in her feelings the first day because I am single, been single since I left that abusive relationship almost 3 years ago. And I was a little sad. I'm not even gonna front, like I was sad. But then I remembered you're here to unlock a new version of yourself, to go deeper with your healing, to embrace your solitude and be okay being by yourself. And it was such a beautiful experience. I cannot wait to book the next one. I don't have anything on the horizon. Who knows what 2024 got in store? January 1st, 1 year anniversary of Watch Us Thrive. Yes. So again, I'm recording on December 31st right now. Tomorrow is January 1st, 2024, which is the 2-year anniversary of this podcast. And I'm so excited. Yo, let me tell you something. This is the most consistent thing I've ever done in my life. So I know I have it in me. I just got to do better in other areas of my life, but it's fine. We're a work in progress, right? Oh, okay. September 26th. First cable TV show offer to share my DV story. Yes, I recorded this actually back in November. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Those Facebook networking groups, get in them because there are some amazing opportunities, especially if you're a podcaster, get in those networking groups because I was able to be on a cable TV show. Like, it's insane. And again, I'm manifesting more speaking engagements in 2024 and more opportunities like that. So shout out to me, man. February 13th, the skin discoloration I had on my neck is gone. This is with the whole weight loss thing. I was a pre-diabetic. Thank God I'm not anymore. But prior to my surgery, I had gained a lot of weight. One of the things that I was experiencing was discoloration around my neck, which was a precursor for full-blown diabetes. And with the weight loss, it went away. And I'm so grateful for that because honestly, that shit scared the fuck out of me. My dad is a diabetic. We didn't find that out until he broke his leg in 2020. And his mom actually was a diabetic too, and she passed away due to complications of diabetes. So that was scary as fuck for me. I really want to be a lot more intentional with my health and my fitness in 2024. We're going to talk about it when I'm done with this. But yeah, your health is very important, y'all. Please take it fucking seriously, especially us in our 30s, millennials. The older you get, the harder the fuck it is. So at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, you don't have shit, right? The money don't matter, the clothes don't matter, the friends don't matter, the life doesn't matter if you're not here to live it. March 24th, I hired Karina as my life coach. Yes, y'all. I made a 4-figure investment in myself in 2023, and I hired a life coach. Shout out to Karina F. Daves. She's amazing. She got me all the way together for the 4 months that we worked together. I'm just so grateful to have been able to work with her because it really did shift a lot of things for me and made me realize other parts of my life that definitely still need some work, especially like the romantic dating life. But yeah, that was amazing to work with her, and I'm so blessed to be able to have done that. Okay, April 13th, I booked my summer trip to Florida. Me and my daughter, we spent about 3 weeks. There was a hurricane out there and my flight to get canceled and delayed. But it was nice to be able to hang out with my sister who lives in Florida. I met her boyfriend that they're living together. Shout out to Ray. And he's amazing. Love him so much. And I was able to reconnect with my boo, Giovanna. I love her so much. And yeah, that was a really good time. April 14th, first ever solo Reiki session. Throat and root chakra were blocked. At the end of my session, all were aligned. Yes, I remember that. Shout out to Beverly. I had went to an event hosted by the Amiga Moms, Vanessa Square, shout out to them too. And the Reiki healer, she did a mini reading on all of us. When she put her hands on my arms, I immediately broke down and started crying. And it was really an emotional release for me because around that time was the 2-year anniversary of me leaving that, well, really escaping that abusive relationship. And I definitely wanted to work with her again, doing a solo longer session. It was crazy that my throat chakra and my root chakra were blocked. And, you know, for someone who uses their voice, who talks about personal shit, it was interesting for me to hear that that part of my chakras were blocked, but we were able to unblock them at the end of the session. And I absolutely loved it. I definitely want to do more healing in 2024 when it comes to being more in tune with my body. Therapy is great. Talking your things out is great, but I still have a lot of shit that I got to heal from. It's deep down. And we're going to be a lot more intentional with healing that and feeling that shit in the body. So, yeah. Okay, next one. April 22nd, I spoke at my first virtual speaking gig, Decide That Shit, and got paid to speak for the first time ever. Yo, shout out to Bren J Life Coaching. I see her. We were able to meet in person last year, which is amazing. My Cali homegirl. And yeah, that was my first ever paid speaking gig. It was virtual. I loved it so much. We got to do that shit again, Bren. I'm going to hit you up in 2024. We're going to make that happen. Decide That Shit Part 2. Let's fucking go. Okay, December 8th hit 13,000 downloads of the show. Come on, man. Y'all are the best. Still listening even when no content is out. Y'all the real MVP. January 27th, 50 pounds lost from when I had my surgery. I gotta do better in 2024, man. I gotta do better. January 13th, recorded my first solo episode of the year. Oh man, this is so fun to like be able to look back and see how my year was. See, in January, I was writing a lot of shit. January 30th, We All Grow Latina featured me on their Instagram. I'll never forget, I was doing an Instagram live with my girl, Polina. Shout out to her. We were doing an astrology, what the signs have in store for 2023. And in the middle of our conversation, I got a notification that We All Grow Latina featured me with 5 other podcasters, Latina, that you need to check out in 2023. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. The July 29th podcast hit 11,024 downloads. Y'all are really doing it. I'm here for it. Keep listening. Leave a rating and review. Watch the Story Podcast. January 3rd, booked another guest spot on a podcast. Y'all, the amount of podcasts that I was a guest on in 2023, I think it was around 36. I was super intentional with being on other people's podcasts. It's amazing how many incredible podcasters are out there. And I want to continue doing that in 2024. So if you want me as a guest on your show, hit me up. January 4th, lost 40 pounds. I was doing so good in January, y'all. January 12th, We All Grow on Instagram reached out to me wanting to feature me on their page of over 250,000 followers. Yo, that shit was insane. I was like, oh my God, is this real? Yes, bitch, it was. September 26th, featured on 32 podcasts and online publications. Yes, I'm here for it. Let's double that in 2024. Oh, yes, this is a recent one. December 23rd, I joined the Fierce Femme Tribe 1-year group coaching program. Shout out to Josie. I can't wait to work with her. I really know that there's a lot more shit that I need to heal from. And I need community and support and women who understand the assignment and who are on the same frequency or higher than where I'm at or where I want to be. And I love Josie since I met her. She's been one of the realest fucking people that I've met. I'm just super excited to be a part of her community and just really grow and elevate in 2024. So stay tuned. September 21st, celebrated my 35th birthday in Mexico on my first ever solo trip. That shit was amazing. Oh, I remember this. February 11th, I got flowers delivered from the Motivation Queen. Y'all, I was here. I think I was in the middle of recording a podcast episode and I got a delivery from Diane. Shout out to her. She was a guest on my show too. And she wrote this beautiful note of just saying, I want to give you your flowers because I see you. And it was just beautiful. Oh, shout out to her. She's amazing. Next one. January 18th and 19th, I started my email marketing and sent out 2 automatic emails. So you guys see, like, they're small wins, they're big wins, they're in-between wins. And I would have never remembered that if I didn't write it. But yeah, man, email marketing, I definitely want to be a lot more intentional with that. You should subscribe if you haven't. I have a freebie, the Thrive Guide, that you can automatically download as soon as you subscribe to my newsletter. So tell a friend to tell a friend. And I promise I won't spam you because I'm a solopreneur and I'm doing everything on my own, and I'm only going to talk to you when I got time. Okay, thanks. July 13th, secured an in-person speaking gig with Amber Lay. Shout out to her. She's such an incredible woman, and her healing circle was beautiful. We were a group of, I think it was either 10, 12 of us, all DV survivors, all sharing our stories of what we've gone through. Such a beautiful, beautiful experience. I definitely want to put together an event like that in 2024, so stay tuned. January 5th, I put together my media kit. Y'all, if you're a podcaster, you need a media kit. January 2nd, recorded my first ever all Latino male podcast panel. The conversation was amazing. Shout out to Jorge, David, and Cain. That episode was so good. Men's mental health. It's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. December 6th, I got my new tattoo. Yes, I'm wearing long sleeves, so you can't really see it. But let me see if I can roll my sleeves up. I got this tattoo, and over here the word says, "Strength is what we gain from the madness we survive." And this is really my story depicting of healing from that abusive relationship. I was in my cocoon. I secluded myself after I left and hit my rock bottom. And slowly but surely, I was coming out of my cocoon. And now I'm turning into a beautiful butterfly because I still got some shit to work on. We have a special guest here, guys.
Hi, guys.
Who are you?
What do I say?
Who are you?
I'm Aubrielle, your daughter.
There you go.
All right, delete this clip.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you.
Don't delete this.
Okay, goodbye. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, that was my 2023, the moments that I was able to remember. I definitely want to write more in 2024, but I recommend that y'all do that. It's so hard to remember the day-to-day shit. So anytime there's something that you want to celebrate, whether you went for a walk and you were able to go an extra mile, or you got engaged, or whatever it is, celebrate every single win and be grateful for them as well. So the next part that I want to talk about is changing the direction of my podcast to focus more on solo episodes and talking about relationships. So Watch Us Thrive, it was born out of a really painful place in my life. Again, I'm a DV survivor and I escaped an abusive relationship, which was the catalyst for me to start this podcast to talk about that shit and other things that I've gone through. And while I love interviewing guests, and I definitely have guests lined up for the next season and season 3, I want to come back to basics and how I started. And it was just me plugging up my mic and talking about real life shit. That's what I want to do for 2024. So definitely expect to see more solo episodes in this new season, but I'm just really excited to try something different. I want to give y'all permission to pivot, to change things up with whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're a podcaster or a blogger or whatever business venture, side hustle thing that you got going on. It's okay to switch things up and do things differently and see what works and see what doesn't work and see what you like and what you don't like, and give yourself the permission to change and evolve and grow as you grow in your business. So I'm really excited for that. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we'll see. All right, the next part. Okay, so it's going to get a little bit heavy now, but we're going to be real and we're going to talk about the real shit. So December was not the greatest month for me. I don't want to say I probably still do have some depression. It made me realize that there's still a lot of shit that's hurting inside of me and that I need to heal from. So let me give a little context on how this came to be. So I stopped working out the end of October, right before Halloween. And what I've come to realize is that when I don't work out and I don't prioritize my health physically, it affects me mentally, emotionally. I just go down a very dark hole. And I just really lost all motivation. I lost all wanting to do anything. I got comfortable. I got very comfortable. And I gained weight. I gained 10 pounds in 6 months. That's the little note that I had. And that shit fucked me up. I was like, damn, I said in the beginning, especially in January, I was doing so good. Your girl was on it. And then I got lazy. And then I started again. And then I stopped again. And it's just this yo-yo that I have battled with my entire adult life, especially when it comes to my weight. And it affects how I show up in my business. It affects how I socialize or lack thereof. I'm very much someone who is comfortable with isolating themselves and retreating back into this cocoon. Shit was getting really dark and I was feeling like shit and I was blaming myself. we got to take accountability. We have to recognize where we are and make the decision to either continue doing the same shit, expecting a different result, which is the definition of insanity, or we can do something different. So that was a lot of the emotions that I was dealing with. I was like, fuck, man, like I really fucked up. Like I fucked up. I was doing so good. I was on my grind. I was losing all this weight, and your girl just got comfortable and complacent and just didn't give a fuck. And that really fucked me up. And another thing that really made me realize that change needs to happen, like a permanent change needs to happen in my life. Shout out to Josie again. She hosted a twerk miss, which is kind of like a Friendsgiving, but in December. And we went to her home. She was the only person that I really knew. It was a group of really cool ass women. Like there was no beef, there was no drama, there was no nothing. Like it was just a good vibe, a good group of women to be around. But I didn't know anyone except her. And you know, when you're the host, you got to entertain everyone. You can't just like come to my corner and make sure, are you good? Like, no, I had to socialize as well. Throughout the night, I felt uncomfortable because I didn't know anyone. And I felt like everyone else who was there knew each other. And then it was Lianne. That's how I felt. And I was uncomfortable. But I was like, you know what? Before even going, I was like, let me put myself out of my comfort zone. Let me do something different. Let me go meet new people. And throughout the night, there was this one woman there, Jen, the spiritual baddie. We were outside talking. This is my first time meeting her. She is a spiritual person. She's an energy reader. She's a Reiki healer. She's all of these things that has to do with spirituality and healing and all of that, which I love so much. And she said something to me that really stuck with me. It's stuck with me since I heard it. She said something along the lines, not verbatim, but she said, I could tell from the minute that you walked in that you have a wall up and you have a guard up with people. And it's hard for you to let people in. The reason why that hit me so hard is because it came from a stranger. Like I said, this is the first time that I met her. This is the first time that me and her are really having a conversation. We were having like a deep ass conversation. I cried to her in like the 7 minutes that we were talking. I guess she just has that energy that you just feel comfortable to be real with her. When she said that to me, it stayed with me. It was like 3-4 days after hearing that I just cried because I was like, damn, yo, is that really the energy that I'm putting out into the world? Do I really have this wall up, this fucking feeling of like, you can't approach me because I don't want anyone to get close to you? And that really hurt my heart. I was like, fuck, yo, like that made me realize I still have a lot of shit to heal from and deal with when it comes to my own personal development journey. I remember a couple days later, or maybe the next day, Josie had reached out to me because she knew that my energy was off. She just could tell, even when I walked into the party, that I was very like to myself, right? And she reached out to me and she was like, yo, are you good? Like, what's going on? Because I could tell that your energy was different. Like me and her, we've hung out before in person and I was not like the way that I was at that party. And shout out to Josie for being that friend to check on your friends. And I want this to be a reminder to anyone. Yo, check on your friends, because if you have that feeling that something ain't right, it probably isn't right. I just broke down and I told her, I was like, listen, I've been feeling like shit for a while, and it's not because of you. It's not because of the environment that I was in. And I was just mad honest with her. And I told her, I got a lot of shit that I got to deal with. I don't like that I have this energy around me that it's like I can't let people in, because that's not what I want. Like, I want to meet a man. I want to fall in love. I want to find my forever. I want to broaden my friend group. I want to be intentional with the people that I have in my life. I don't want to seclude myself and isolate myself like I'm used to doing all the time. And that shit really hit me that I'm not okay. I remember I told Josie that a lot of the things that I'm struggling with, especially around that time, is because this time next year, my ex-boyfriend, the abuser that I left in 2021, he's gonna be released from prison in December of 2024. There is a sense of fear that I have of, he gets out, now what? You know, like I feel like since everything happened, he's been locked up since March 13th, 2021. I've been safe because I know where he is. I know that he's not out wandering, trying to find me to finish what he started. You know, like that's the mentality that I have had when it comes to what I dealt with him. And there's this I don't know if I want to say like this dark cloud, but there's this heaviness of like, oh my God, he's going to be released next year. What the fuck? And that was a really heavy feeling for me in the first half of December. I don't know how I'm going to feel this time next year, knowing that he's out, but it made me realize that there's still, even though I've done so much work to heal from that situation, there's still a lot more healing that needs to be done. And that's what I really want to be intentional about in this coming year. That's why I joined Josie's group coaching year-long program, to be around other people who are also going through other things. And it's not necessarily being around other survivors, but just to be able to express myself when those dark moments come up and not seclude myself like I'm so used to doing. Like, that's such a coping mechanism for me. That's the first thing that I do when I'm going through hard shit. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to feel like a burden to other people. So I'm just going to keep that shit into myself, and I'm going to cry myself to sleep. And, I don't want to fucking do that shit anymore, because that's not a way to live. I shared this with you guys, so hopefully this sparks something in you. If you're going through some shit, you don't have to go through it alone. That's what I really, really want to focus on in 2024, is that I don't need to do this alone. And it's okay for me to feel the way that I'm feeling and not feel like, fuck, it's been 3 years and he's still affecting me. You know what I mean? Like, those are all the thoughts that I have still to this day that I really want to heal from and work through. It's been hard. It's been really hard for me to cope with these feelings, and I really just don't want to do it on my own anymore. So shout out to Josie, shout out to Jen. Y'all really changed my life that night in the best way possible. And I really just want to thank you guys for opening up my eyes and making me realize that there's a lot of shit that I got to work on, and I don't need to take this on by myself. So I thought I was gonna cry. I'm glad I didn't, because I got a face full of makeup on for those who are watching on YouTube. Definitely this whole healing journey is ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It's not easy, but it's a part of the process, and I'm gonna embrace it with every twist and turn and whatever the fuck 2024 has in store for me. So I will definitely bring you guys along on that journey as well. Okay, we're winding down. Deleting all posts on Instagram and starting over. Yes, I did that. I had this impulse. Well, not really impulse decision, because this has been sitting with me for a while. Again, like I said before, I definitely want to move differently with my podcast in this new season, and also with how I'm showing up on social media and the content that I'm putting out there. So I forgot what day it was, but I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to delete every single thing on my TikTok and on my Instagram. On my Instagram, I only kept one post, which was the 2-year anniversary of me surviving that relationship. And I said, I'm going to start over. I'm going to start from zero. I don't know what it's going to look like. Give yourself permission to start over as many times as you need to, especially when it comes to social media. Like, I feel like social media is really like your resume of who you are and what you want the world to know about you, good and bad, right? I really just want to show up differently. I really just want to be more intentional with the content that I'm putting out there. I want to be more transparent, more vulnerable. I want to talk about the shit that we don't like to talk about, like me going through depression, feeling like I'm hitting another rock bottom or regressing or something like that, I really just want to be able to have y'all see me and understand me and be like, yo, me too. She fucking gets it, right? Again, I don't have a clue on what it's going to look like, but I'm excited to see where this is going to take me in 2024. So I said, fuck it. We're going to start the fuck over, and that's perfectly okay. So give yourself permission to do the same, okay? It is okay to start over. It is okay to say, I don't fucking like this and I want to do something different. It is okay to be scared to start over or to do something completely out of the norm for you. You got this, okay? I did it, so you can do it too. It's a new year. It's a perfect time for you to set the intention and put in the work to really make this next year the best I am super, super excited to be back. Again, I encourage y'all, leave a rating and review of the podcast. I don't think you can leave a review on Spotify, but you can absolutely leave a 5-star rating. And for my Apple Podcast listeners, please, y'all, leave a rating and review. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know what you want to see from me in this new season. If you have any topics that you want to talk about, whatever it is that you want to talk about, please, y'all, let me know and show your girl love and support. That's the way the show can grow. That's how we can get new, when it's really just me, but that's how I can get new listeners and subscribers. And I really just encourage y'all, if you feel seen and heard and understood in any of the conversations that I have, either solo or with a guest, let me know, y'all. So please, 5-star rating only, okay? If you're a hater, get the fuck out of here. There's this new, I don't know what the fuck to call it, this new segment that I'm going to do on my solo episodes. And it's going to be called, I don't really have a catchy name right now, so we're just going to call it the I Need Advice Corner from Lianne. And what I've been doing, I'm new to Reddit, okay? I know y'all have probably been known about Reddit. I'm new to the party, and a lot of the things on there that people talk about, especially when it comes to relationships, is insane. And I really just want to give my advice or what I think when it comes to certain scenarios. So at the end of every solo episode, we're going to have the I Need Advice segment, and I'm going to read a user's Reddit when it comes to relationships or dating or anything like that. And I'm going to give my piece of advice. And then I want to hear from you guys and let me know, do you agree? Do you not agree? I'm telling you guys, I have a whole album filled with screenshots of fucking Reddits. I have 23 right now. Okay, so we're not playing any games. I'm gonna put this up on the screen next to me so you guys can read along with me, but I'm gonna read off from my phone. And the title of this is called My Partner Shoved Me. So the Reddit user is a 31-year-old female talking about her 35-year-old male partner. So here we go. My partner of nearly 5 years shoved me for the first time ever tonight. Backstory. We were out tonight having a few drinks, and he tends to overindulge and get super wasted and then wet the bed. I told him to please sleep in the lounge or spare bed because I honestly don't want to either wake up at odd hours to switch the bedroom TV off or in a puddle of urine. He's 35, remember that. He got really angry with me bringing up the wetting the bed situation and asking him to rather sleep elsewhere and physically shoved me. I had my back to him whilst in bed and he shoved my back. This is the first time he has ever done a thing, and I'm really concerned. I am not too sure whether I am overreacting or if this is the first sign of something not exactly healthy. Please help. I have no idea what to even think or say. TLDR, partner shoved me and not sure how to feel about this. Well, as someone who has dealt with a ex-partner physically putting their hands on me in a not healthy way, I would say run, because it's going to happen again. First of all, you're 35 years old and you're still wetting the bed. There's some past trauma that he has not dealt with, which is why probably he overindulges. I mean, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, but this is just what's coming to my mind. He has some shit that he has not dealt with, and in order to numb out, he fucking overindulges and has an anger problem on top of that. I was in a relationship, not the last one, but the one before. It was almost 9 years. It did get physically abusive a few times. I didn't realize that when I was in the relationship, but there was a heavy presence of alcohol. He will never admit that he's an alcoholic, but he's definitely someone who drank a lot, and that would bring out the really shitty side of him. That's a big reason as to why I really don't drink anymore, because obviously I'm older, I'm 35 now, and I just don't get down the same way that I used to. I don't hang around the same people that I used to hang around with. But being around someone who cannot control themselves while they're under the influence, that's a huge fucking red flag, babe. That's a huge red flag. And the fact that he put his hands on you, that's not okay. It's not okay. Speaking from experience again, if they do it once, it's going to happen again, and it's going to get worse. So I would cut your losses. I would tell him to go get some help. I am not going to be the person to take on the responsibility of trying to fix you, because I used to be that type of girl too. I saw problems in a man and I thought, let me be this Jesus savior complex that I can fix him and make him be who I want him to be. It never fucking works out that way. So I would cut my losses. Being the woman that I am now, going through the things that I've gone through and seeing how that plays out, nope. You put your hands on me once, that's the only fucking time that you're gonna be able to do that. You know, I just wouldn't even associate with someone who uses alcohol or drugs or something negative to deal with their shit. That's not my vibe anymore. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. So that's my 2 cents. That's my piece of advice. Run. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. I would love to hear what you guys think with this situation. Am I overreacting? I don't fucking think so. But what would you do if you were put in that situation? Whether it's a man or a woman, whatever floats your boat. But would you stay if the person puts their hands on you for the first time ever and wets the bed? Like, can we grow up? Thanks. Because we don't have time for bullshit in 2024 and beyond. Okay, so that is my I Need Advice segment. Last thing I want to do before I get out of here. I have this, I talked about the chakras before. I have this 45 chakra wisdom cards, and I want to pull one to see what is the intention to start off this new year. Let's see which one I pull, and if this resonates with you. What do I need to focus on? How do I want to feel? What clarity am I going to gain from this next chapter in my life? Okay, ready? I'm going to pick a random one. Third chakra, solar plexus. Y'all can see. Okay. Self-worth and self-esteem. Ooh, yikes. I honor myself by doing things that please me, not only those that please others. I am empowered as I release the need to live up to other people's unrealistic expectations of me. When I respect and approve of myself, others will naturally do the same. I teach others how to treat and respect me by how I treat and respect myself. I know I am worthy of love and respect. The boundaries I create with others acknowledge my self-worth. Drop the fucking card. How crazy intentional was this one? This was not planned, y'all. This is my first time doing this. Again, showing you this is the card that came up during today's episode. I mean, what better way to end this podcast solo episode with? Love yourself, respect yourself, do what the fuck makes you happy in 2024. That's what I'm going to take away from this card. And that's how we're going to end this. Whatever the fuck makes you happy, do that shit. And anyone who doesn't support you, who doesn't respect you, who's not in line with the intention that you're setting for this next year, they got to get the fuck out. Stat. Exit stage left. Get the fuck out of here. We don't have time for your negativity, for your bullshit, for your shenanigans in 2024, because the only fucking person that I'm worried about in this next year is me. And then everyone else is going to come second to that. But I'm putting myself first. I'm doing what the fuck makes me happy. I'm showing up for myself, and I'm doing that shit. I can never say this fucking word. Unapologetically as fuck. Period. So that is the first episode of season 3 of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for y'all to be here. I'm so happy to be back. May this be the first of many amazing episodes, and may this next year be exactly how you intend it to be. You have the power to make your life the way that you want it to be. Speaking to myself too, there's shit about me that I definitely want to shift and change in 2024, and I'm being intentional as fuck about it. Yes, there's gonna be down moments. Yes, there's gonna be sad moments. Yes, I'm not gonna be perfect, and I'm gonna fuck up from time to time, but remembering why and remembering the bigger picture of what I see for myself is what I'm standing on. I'm standing on motherfucking business in 2024. Like y'all be saying, you need to do the same. And I'm wishing you guys the best. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, this is your girl Lianne of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. I need like a sign out. I don't know. I don't have like a thing. Keep glowing, growing, and thriving. And I'll catch y'all next time. Leave a rating and review. Love you.